Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Welcome to a special edition, kind of late edition live stream show. And I wanted to do a show today because I came across a short clip with the good brother Rizza Islam, who was having a discussion with the young men over at Daily Wrap-Up Crew. And in this short, he says actually a few things that I actually want to address. And he dropped a lot of gems. He said a lot of things, and I think that it's worthy of discussion for us to talk about them this evening. Okay. Yes, this is live. This is not a premiere. So go ahead, hit the like button as you come in. Okay. Because we're going to talk about what he said. We're going to watch the short, and because it's a short, I'm going to let it play through first, and then I'm going to like pause it or whatever to address each point that he makes. Because I like brother Rizza Islam. I like him. I like a lot of where his stance is coming from. I agree with pretty much most of what he says. In this particular case, I still agree with a lot of what he's saying. The one point, not even of contention that I would have, but I will offer a different perspective. And that's really the title of this show, Why Women No Longer Get Random Protection, because he's talking about the protection of Black women. And it's a reason why Black women are getting attacked more and more. And then there's less and less, though, of random protection from Black men in the street whenever Black men see them. So I get what he's saying, but we're going to get into it. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Amina. Oh, thank you, Alton. Thank you so very much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. I definitely appreciate such a generous contribution. Thank you for kicking off the contributions. Thank you, Pound for Pound. And let's get this thing cooking. Hey, sis, it's been a while since I caught a live one. Been missing the cookouts. You've been missing the cookouts. Hopefully you've been getting them on replay. But thank you so very much. So let's go ahead and listen to the good brother speak. And like I said, we're going to run it twice. I'm going to let him speak, probably let it run twice. It's a short, so it's not that long. And then I'm going to pause it and go point for point to discuss what he's saying and give my perspective on what he is saying. So here we go.
Destruction. They had to remove the man from the home, remove the man from the culture, remove the man from God. Because if you fear God, you're not going to bow down to no system like this. There is no such thing as a system that can break me because I have a relationship with God. Because this system, again, is benefiting from us not having our stuff together on the defensive. Our sisters get attacked. We're not fighting back. What are we doing?
Yeah.
No, seriously, bro. Your Black woman getting attacked and you recording in 4K. You're not using your 4 limbs. So your 6, these elbows, these fists, these knees, and these feet, but you're recording it. The enemy helped us to get to this condition. That's a fact. But now we are perpetuating it. We're participating in our own destruction. They had to remove the man from the home, remove the man from the culture, remove the man from God. Because if you fear God, you're not going to bow down to no system like this. There is no such thing as a system that can break me because I have a relationship with God. Because this system, again, is benefiting from us not having our stuff together on the defensive. Our sisters get attacked. We not fighting back. What are we doing?
Yeah.
No, seriously, bro. Your black woman getting attacked and you recording in 4K. You're not using your 4 limbs. So your 6, these elbows, these fists, these knees, and these feet, but you're recording it. The enemy helped us to get to this condition. That's a fact. But now we are perpetuating it. We're participating in our own destruction. They had to remove the man from the home, remove the man from the culture, remove the man from God. Because if you fear God, you're not going to bow down to no system like this.
Now, I'm gonna pause it because he actually just said a mouthful in those few seconds. Let me get to this. Thank you, 1000. Said we need more sisters following your pious lead here. This is long overdue and God sent. Brothers, let's back this sister's message with our dollars. The ratchets fund our disunity and blackmail bashing. Let's fund our advocates. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate that sentiment and your contribution. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Just my 4 cents. Said my wife, black as collard greens and turkey legs on the stove, cooking, boiling mac and cheese, yams, and fried chicken legs. So she can do no wrong. She got turkey legs and chicken legs. You protein down today, ain't you? Thank you, Johnny BX, for the super sticker. Thank you so very much. So very much. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about that he's saying that the black man had to be removed from the home. Number one, he had to be removed from culture. Okay. And had to remove him from God. Right? Because if you have a relationship with God, you're not going to bow down to a system like this. He goes on to say there is no system, such thing as a system that can break him because he has a relationship with God. In a nutshell, what is he describing? You've been on my channel, you know the answer. In a nutshell, what is he saying? If anybody can guess. In a nutshell, he is describing the difference between the 10 life values and the lost value system. That is what he is saying. He's saying that our value system had to be turned, flipped, taken, corrupted. We had to have a corruption. And that corruption began with the removal of men. Because that symbolized the removal of order out of the home. Okay? The removal of the order out of the home. The removal of the spiritual base out of the home. Because not only are men orderly in the home, men are also the spiritual leaders within their homes, or at least they are supposed to be. They are supposed to be not only leaders in terms of provision and working and giving money and all of those other types of things. That's only one facet. The other kind of provision that men give is spiritual direction, spiritual leadership, spiritual instruction. This is the part where a lot of hyenas get tripped up, because when their men when their men start giving them instruction, it may not necessarily be rooted in a particular religion or anything like that, but to guide them morally. For example, don't leave the house dressed like that. Like that usually means you're too provocatively dressed. This is a moral thing that he's bringing to her. You have now a station to uphold. So therefore, you are called to present yourself in a different manner now. This is the whole dust up between Darius and Keke Palmer. Because he dared to give her a moral instruction, or to not so much give her the instruction, but to critique it on a moral basis. And she didn't like that. So the removal of men from the home is key first, in order to remove not only the leadership, not only the order from the home, but also to remove the spiritual guidance out of the home, so that the woman now is left to try to get that from wherever. So when Zaddy comes along to say, I'm going to take care of you, he now provides her spiritual guidance too. And that is based in a lie. Do you understand? He provided her spiritual instruction, but it was corrupted. He began to lie to her to get her out of the truth, into lies, into delusions, into all of this other stuff. That is how you get into and out of the lost value system. Lies put you in it. Truth takes you out. Let me address earlier. This is off the subject. Earlier, I put a post up about the alleged, and I did say alleged in the post, that Steve Harvey and Marjorie might be getting headed for divorce. I took the post down because I fact checked it, which is why I always say allegedly when things are not solidified. So this is why I didn't do a show on it. And this is also why I took the post down, because I fact checked it, and I was intending on fact checking it before I jumped out the window and did a whole show. So I didn't want to do a show on something that was untrue. So the rumor was debunked today. So it started recently, like a day or two ago. And so maybe about 2 hours ago, the rumor was also leave stuff up if it's not going to be true. So that's why the post isn't there. If you went back to it, if you commented on it and you go back to it and it's not there, that's what it is. I took it down purposely. Okay, so I just wanted to address that. So let me go. Y'all silly. So let me go ahead and continue with it. See, it's comments like, see, y'all start clowning. It's comments like that with the clowning. Y'all are silly. I love y'all. I really do love y'all. And it took me a minute to debunk it, to find out and debunk it too, because it was pretty much a plausible story. That would be plausible, actually, if she did that, something like that, because we know the history of Marjorie. But anyways, enough about that. Getting back to what Brother Rizza Islam is saying, he's basically describing it. He's basically saying, if you have your spiritual self together, you can't be taken advantage of in this system. which is absolutely 100% true. This is what we've been talking about for the last 3 years on this channel. We have been drilling the importance of a value system, what the different value systems are, and what kind of outcomes you're looking at when you deal in them. The reason why so many of us are caught up is because not only was men removed from the home, they were eventually removed from the culture. Black women, Black culture is female now. It don't have nothing to do with men. It don't have nothing to do with Black men now. There is no space for Black men. There is no love for them. There's no respect. There's no place. In so-called Black culture, there is no place for Black men. Black men have been relegated worse than to the back. They have been nearly completely erased, except to remain as a pariah and to be a whipping boy and to be a scapegoat for all of the things that have gone wrong in the Black household and in the Black community. Okay? So they had to be removed from the home and then the culture. I would place home in biology if I had to place it. And then I would have to, then he obviously said culture. So the removal of Black men and or the tarnishing of their image, erasing them biologically, erasing them out of the home. That means not only erasing them, taking them out physically out of the home, but also taking them out of the importance of their role of reproduction as well. Taking Black men away from children, diminishing their contribution to children unless it has to do with child support and all of that type of stuff. Diminishing the importance of fathers in children's lives, because it's popular for Black women to say, I don't need no man, while they have children, without thinking you, quote unquote, may not need a man, but do your children need a father? And that is never a follow-up question. Never. Okay, so you don't need a man, sis. Good. Okay, good for you. Good for you that you got your whole life sold up to such a degree that you don't need any external help. It's a first in human history that any human being can live without the assistance or the support of any other human being. I don't know how you managed it, but okay. You don't need a man, but do your children need fathers? Right? So the removal of men from the home, the removal of men from the culture, the separation. And then he says something else very important. He talks about not bowing down to the system if you have a connection spiritually. If you have a strong spiritual base, what's number one in the 10 life value system? Spiritual value. This is why it is number one. This is why it serves as an anchor, right? It serves as an anchor because it's part of the foundation for the rest of the value system. It's part of it. You don't have a good value system if you don't have a good foundation in your spiritual value. That's why we have this. That's why it's an anchor. That's why health comes next. Because you aren't able to fight. Even emotionally or mentally, if your health is not good. So your spirituality has to be set. Your health has to be set. Your family has to be set. These are the top 3 parts of the 10 life value system. These are the ones that got attacked the hardest. Okay? So when we take a look at the lost value system, they got attacked the hardest. Remove every truth out of your spiritual value. Take you away from even the recognition that there is a most high at all. Take you away from caring about your physical, your emotional, or your mental health. Not caring about this stuff, getting out of shape, eating what you want, not working out, not, doing anything to care for any part of your health. Getting these chronic diseases that are easily remedied through diet and exercise. Hypertension, diet and exercise. Type 2 diabetes, diet and exercise. Certain forms and stages of kidney failure, diet and exercise. Certain forms of, when we talk about heart disease and cholesterol and your arteries being clogged, diet and exercise. So many different things that we face. So many people have gout, which is a buildup of uric acid, diet and exercise. So we don't care about that stuff. Family is obliterated. Nobody values that family structure anymore. There's no support in it. It doesn't even really exist anymore. Families are whatever at this point. Let me get to the super chats. Thank you so much. Julius Brewster said, just a contribution to all the work you've done and will continue to do for the betterment of our community. I love and appreciate you. I love and appreciate you as well. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, Lynn B, for your contribution. And thank you, Robert Campbell. I was walking by Grinshaw and Pulaski headed to Juma. A young girl was laying hands on her guy. The girl told her guy, I bet you won't hit me in front of him. I ignore her. Then the guy to yoke her up. See, it get wild out there. It get wild out there. But a lot of what we face, diet and exercise does it. Cures it, mitigates problems. Even depression and anxiety can be addressed through diet and exercise. If you eating a lot, let me just tell you this, and then we're going to move on. If you are eating a lot of fast food, if you eat a lot of fast food and junk food, you about to be sad. You are about to be sad. It changes your mood. And you get depressed. Stop eating it for a month. If you want to detox, eat fruit. Make your diet fresh fruit heavy. And I do mean heavy. I mean like 95% of everything you eat need to be fruit. If you want to detox, get the parasites out your body, all that stuff, 30 days minimum, fruit, pretty much fruit only. That will detox you. And when I say fruit, I mean grapes, plums, stone fruit, avocado is a fruit. Bananas are okay, but only eat like one and only eat in the morning of bananas because bananas expand in your stomach. They're not bad. You just gotta not overdo it if you're a banana person. And this is coming from a banana head. It has a lot of potassium. Okay. Eat your melons if you like melons. Usually eat your melons separate than with, not eat it with other fruit. Drink a bunch of water. Get your water from your fruit and then drink a bunch of water. It's not as difficult as you think, drinking a lot of water. Once you detox with fruit, you build back with vegetables. Vegetables build you back. Preferably raw. So salads, greens, kales, carrots, broccolis. Eat your greenery. Make sure you've got some color in there. That's how you clean your body out. I guarantee you start doing that on a regular basis. Throw some intermittent fasting in there, some 1 meal a days in there. And please don't balk about the price of the food. If your health is worth it, your health is either worth it or it's not. If you don't mind buying shoes that are $100 or more, then you shouldn't mind spending about that much on fruit and healthy food. It's not as healthy as they say it is if it's processed. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go to break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get to the rest of what the brother is talking about. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, brothers, I want to tell you about a website called blackmenszone.com. Now, Black Men's Zone is a site that specifically targets black men. It's a place where black men talk about issues that solely affect them. Now, at Black Men's Zone, the topics will range from news to society, sports, technology, business, food and recipes. Some brothers got to cook too. Gaming, and some of your brothers like doing some of that. Health and fitness, got to get your workout on. Music, movies, and many other topics. Now, there's not many forums around these days for black men, and because black men have to create them. Now, this particular website is more of a forum based, something simple, not social media. You can write what you need to write, say what you need to say, get off pretty quick. But if you're interested, brothers, to at least go there, and I want you to check it out, engage in the topics, go to blackmenszone.com, sign up for an account, and get engaged in the conversation.
So definitely do what the brother has asked us to do. Hit the link at the top of the chat, blackmenszone.com. and become part of the conversation or start one of your own. This is a forum specifically for the brothers to discuss a wide range of topics that interest them and that affect them as well. So definitely hit the link at the top of the chat once again, blackmenszone.com. All right. Let me get to, before I get to the super chats, I know I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, All right, so I gave y'all thumb dance. So thank you so very much. Thank you, Quiet Storm. So you'll pay for your health early in life or later in life. Either way, you're gonna pay. Which would you prefer, gym or hospital? Make your choice. Exactly. You're going to pay. You're either going to pay more for your health to upkeep it and to make it better, or you're going to pay the hospital, which trust and believe is an exorbitant amount of money. And they're not going to tell you that certain foods will cure you. If you come in with stage 1 or 2 cancer somewhere in your body, they're going to tell you to get chemo or some other treatment like that that's going to cost you. The treatment going to be worse than the actual disease. What they're not going to tell you is that cancer cells eat sugar to survive. You heard that on Crimson Cure. Thank you, Big B, and say you also bam, better hit the like button. Yep, I owed y'all that. I definitely owed y'all that. Okay? What they won't tell you is that cancer cells consume sugar in order to survive. If you cut your sugar intake, and I'm talking about simple carbohydrates and refined sugar, so all that bread, okay, all them bagels you be eating in the morning, all them sandwiches, all that bread, all that bread, all them fries, the starchy food, the French fries, the potato chips, the simple carbs are directly turned into sugar. They are metabolized like refined sugar in your body. If you need to eat carbs, eat the complex ones, the ones that have fiber, micronutrients, and other nutritional value. All that little empty cereal you be eating, leave that alone. Watch the sugar intake. Drinking your sugar. All them Starbucks you be getting, and you don't control the sugar that's in there. Drinking all your sugar. You this, you that. Drinking all these little drinks and, all that kind of stuff. You don't control the ingredients. Everything, all your condiments got sugar in it. High fructose corn syrup all over everything. You can get jelly without it. Okay? You can. Watch stuff. Listen, I'm gonna give you another tip. If you buy a lot of prepackaged seasonings and prepackaged little stuff, the processed food is the worst. Processed food is the worst kind of thing. Watch stuff that is a sugar that ends in ose, dextrose, and ends in lol, sorbitol, maltitol. Watch maltodextrin. Stuff how you bloated, your stomach be big, you don't know why. Watch that stuff. Watch that stuff in your food. It's very common in little seasoned packs and all that kind of stuff. Ketchup can be found without sugar, without added sugar. You can get ketchup. It tastes just fine. It tastes like regular ketchup. Watch that sugar in the little stuff that you be getting. If you drink coffee, it's fine. But all that creamer, them little fancy little creamers, please understand that them creamers do not contain cream. I know that might shock y'all. Little creamers and little international creamers, there is no cream in that. It's oil and sugar. Read it. Read it. It's oil. It ain't no cream in it. There is no dairy. When they say no dairy, they mean that there's no cream. I would prefer the cream to the creamer, because at least the cream is actual cream. It's milk fat. And you only need a little bit. If you want to eat sugar, I do eat sugar, but I control my sugar by not eating a lot of processed food. So I will buy like organic cane sugar, just a little bit. It's not as sweet. It is not as sweet as granulated refined sugar. It's not. That's okay. Allow your palate to change. Stuff that's not sweet enough, if you change your palate, it would be too sweet. Allow your palate to change. You will crave it. You will have withdrawal. It is a drug. A lot of the processed food we eat are drugs. They are Why do you think the FDA is a thing? The Food and Drug Administration. Why do you think they put them two? Why do you think America put them two things together? Food and drug. Honey's fine. Honey is natural. Honey's fine. Make sure that you get local honey, because the bees, it'll help with any allergies, because the bees are actually making honey from the local plant life. Honey is fine. Get natural honey. That little syrupy, watch it that it should not have sugar. Honey should just be honey, no sugar. Get it with the comb in it if you can. This was not meant to turn into a food thing, but we're starving for this type of information. We need it, but it's not popular. Okay. We need the information, but it's not popular. But let me continue on. I'm going to let him speak more, because we're going to get to what the show is really about. Olive oil is fine. Just make sure, if you can make sure stuff is organic or whatever. Olive oil, try not to cook with soybean oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil. Try not to cook with that. If you need a high smoke point oil, avocado oil is a good replacement. Avocado oil has a high smoke point, so you can saute with it or you can fry with it and it won't be super smoky. Olive oil has a low smoke point, so it's good for quick sautés and stuff like that, but at a high temperature, olive oil will smoke and burn. So you don't want to do olive oil like that. It loses its nutritional value. So get pure avocado oil. Pure avocado oil. They do mix it with soybean oil if you don't watch it. So don't go for the real cheap stuff. Oh, it's this one. Why is this one, $3, $4, $5 cheaper than the other avocado oil? Because they mixed it with soybean oil. Watch it. Get 100% avocado oil. It's more expensive. You're welcome. Okay. It is Patreon level. Thank you for acknowledging that, Quiet Storm. This is Patreon stuff. Okay. Coconut oil is a good one, but it's not have a high smoke point. So coconut oil, not necessarily fractionated. You can use either one, fractionated or solid coconut oil. Avocado, olive. These are good oils to cook with and to eat. Anyway.
There is no such thing as a system that can break me because I have a relationship with God. Because this system, again, is benefiting from us not having our stuff together on the defensive. Our sisters get attacked. We not fighting back. What are we doing?
Yeah.
No, seriously, bro. Your black woman getting attacked and you recording in 4K. You're not
I'm gonna let him finish.
using your 4 limbs. So your 6, these elbows, these fists, these knees, and these feet, but you're recording it. The enemy helped us to get to this condition. That's a fact. But now we are perpetuating it.
I wanted him to finish his thought. You know, it's a good thought, Brother Rizza. It's a good thought, beloved. It really is. The thought of getting protection randomly from men, if you ever need it. Speaking strictly as a woman, if ever I was anywhere and let's say my husband wasn't around or couldn't be, whatever, I'm out, something goes down, he's not immediately right there. I would love for a random black man to help me if I needed that kind of help. And I've gotten that before, right? I've gotten that in the past. But we talking 25 years ago, 30 years ago, okay? In 2023, I would probably be hard pressed to get that kind of help if necessary. Not saying that there won't be a brother ever that would do it, but there is more reluctance now from our men to do that. There's a reason why our men record now when they see black women getting some type of attack or something. It's not that the men have lost their protective instinct. They actually have to fight that in some cases. It's not that they've lost it. It's not that they don't want to. It's not that they don't. But at some point, you got to learn. How many black men have been offed, deleted, disappeared, gone, trying to help a woman they didn't know, trying to step in, trying to protect, trying to only for her to defend the guy that was attacking her or not be thankful or not be great. They're not grateful for the protection. And it goes beyond not being grateful for the protection. They remove themselves. The black women as a collective remove themselves from the protection because any man that understands protection knows that a structure is like 90% of the protection. The other 10% is him physically coming through to like wreck shop if he got to do that. My husband's protection does include his physicality. If ever something were to go down and he got to come through and tear it down, I hate it for you. But 90%, up to probably 95% of my husband's protection of me is his system, his order, and his structure. Doing what he has told me to do. If he says, I don't want you out at a certain hour, going here and there, then I should not be out at a certain hour, going here and there and doing stuff. Why? Because he knows that after a certain point, it's not as safe as the daytime or whatever. Other elements come out and, it might be trouble for me. He doesn't want to have to physically show up. And it's not because he don't want to protect. It's because what the outcome of that could be. Because if something went down to the point where he got to really actually show up physically to tear somebody's head off, somebody's head getting tore off. And it ain't going to be no stopping it. And so that situation was serious enough for him to be like, okay, got to tear somebody's head off. Got to do it. I don't want to be in a situation that's serious like that. And I certainly don't want my husband in such a situation. So in order to protect myself and in order to protect him as well, it would behoove me to not take myself out of the cover of my husband by doing what he has asked me to do. But when we talk about it about this on a grand scale, Black women don't deal with Black men like that. They don't. He said something that is pivotal. He said, your Black women are getting attacked. Brother Rizza, respectfully, and with all due respect, because I like Brother Rizza. I like what he stands for. I hope one day to have a really nice conversation with him. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. The collective of Black women do not belong to Black men anymore. Once upon a time, that was true. And Black men acted accordingly. And Black women, for the most part, acted accordingly. But Black women are no longer, they don't belong to Black men anymore because they said they don't belong to Black men anymore. Not because Black men said that Black women don't belong to them, but the women themselves have said they don't belong to Black men. Black men can't tell them nothing. They can't police them, quote unquote. They can't tell them nothing. They don't need them. Black women are grown, and there's nothing that a Black man, no matter who he is in her life, it could be her husband, it could be a father, it could be a brother, it could be an uncle, it could be anybody at all, any Black man at all. He has no authority over her to the point where even his advices, we're not even talking about him trying to control her or trying to make her do stuff, but even just his advice, just his foresight, just him offering and saying, this is what I think might be best in this situation. She finds a way not to take heed to that. They belong to Mr. Cartwright. And even though they'll never be Mrs. Cartwright, they don't seem to mind. They belong to Mr. Cartwright, even though he don't want them either. They have completely succumbed to the lies and the delusions that are inherent in the gynocracy and in the lost value system. And that's what it is. They actually don't belong anymore to Black men. They said that they are themselves. They belong to them. Black women are to Black women. They not even. Listen. You think if Black women thought collectively that they were part and parcel of Black men and that Black men were part of Black culture, and because he actually just said it earlier in the clip, Black men were removed from Black culture. So if Black men are not even a part of the culture and they're not a part of the family, then how can Black women belong to them? Because who helped oust them? Who helped? And he said it at the end. He said the enemy is responsible for bringing us to this point, but we are responsible for perpetuating it. And he's right. He's right. It was the system. It was all of these other things that brought us to this point, that introduced us and turned our value system around. But we're the ones that's not changing it. We're the ones that bought it hook, line, and sinker, and we still do it willingly at this point. If the collective of Black women thought that they belong to Black men, then followings like Cynthia G, followings like Princella, and followings like Paris Milan, so forth and so on, would not be as heavy as it is and as popular as it is by women. Women heavily follow the ideologies put forth by the Cynthia G's and the Princellas of the world. They got a heavy following. You can't deny it. Princella is getting invited everywhere to talk about her ideology, which a lot of women follow and resonate with and want to be a part of. It's a lot. She's not running around here with 200-300 subscribers. She has thousands of subscribers. So does Cynthia G. Cynthia G been hit 100K well before I could ever do it. Yeah, the She-Ra lady, sprinkle lady, yeah. So all of them women have strong female followings. Very strong. If Black women thought that they belonged to Black men, that following wouldn't be strong. But it is. So it was Black women that said they don't belong to Black men anymore. Not the men. Right? Because women like me, women like Danica, even women like Love Dorsey don't show up in the algorithm as much. And Love Dorsey is real raw. Love Dorsey remind me of me in 2018, 2019. Because she clean out, but be spitting facts. I actually like Love Dorsey because she say it in the way that I no longer talk. I don't talk like that anymore. But Love Dorsey be getting them together. She be getting them together in the language they understand. She get them together in the language they understand. She be telling them what it is. Love Dorsey be telling them what it is and what it ain't. They be mad, but they can't really say nothing about it because she be spitting facts. Her car rants are epic. I'm not even gonna lie. I think she's heavier following on Facebook than she is on YouTube, anyways. I think. Thank you, Common Man. So I saw a video where this black woman fell off a dock because of her attitude. She wouldn't listen. And as she was drowning, only a white male tried to save her. No one else would. Thank you again, Common Man said, they aren't my black women anymore. They are the table scraps of the white male in the government. And a quality black man doesn't consume table scraps. Yep. Thank you, Craig. Say we appreciate you. I appreciate you too as well. Thank you, H-Back said, until black and female hyenas wake, this war will never end. It's going to have to end at some point, whether they wake up or not. And the only reason I say that is because our coming out of it can't rest on whether or not the hyenas come out of the boneyard, because hyenas do not come out of the boneyard. That's the sad reality. Hyenas don't come out of the boneyard. Lionesses that are caught in the boneyard will come out of it, but hyenas don't. They don't come out the boneyard. That's why I don't save them. I don't save hyenas. My message is not for hyenas. It's about them, but it's not for them. But anyway. Oh, they demonetized Matt Walsh? Oh, wait, they did? YouTube trying to push out conservative voices. They demonetized Matt. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't even be surprised. Most YouTubers see the writing on the wall. You know, I thought I was crazy, but I'm not, because I was watching a short from Chisha Zed. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard of Chisha or you subscribe to him. I like Chisha. Drink the coffee. I like him. I like his commentary. I like the smooth, kind of monotone way that he does it. It's actually so his dry humor is funny to me. But I like Chisha. And one of the things that he said on one of his shorts was that he said, you know, YouTube is not going to allow this kind of content much longer. He was like, I can just see it. I can just tell the way that they're doing the algorithm and the way that they're kind of demonetizing and stuff like that. He was like, you know, I'm not going to be here very long. And he has a very successful channel. And he was like, I'm not going to be here. I don't know. Did anybody see that? What I'm referring to? He was like, I'm not going to be here. And this kind of content is not going to be welcome on YouTube and a lot of other platforms for very much longer. And it's not. It's not. This is why I keep kind of giving y'all a heads up about it. I definitely got big plans to move around. I'm not going to stop with the message, but the message has to transfer, because these platforms are going to become more and more unwelcoming to these messages, no matter how you try to sort of water it down and things of that nature. They're not going to keep they're going to start marking it as too controversial. And then they're going to start shutting down channels and demonetizing everybody's channel. So if you was making a bag and stuff like that on YouTube, better hope you can pivot to do something else or whatever, or you have a brand that can survive offline or whatever, because YouTube is not going to really allow it too much longer. Limited time. We have limited time. Expiration date on it. And thank you, Supreme 10. So you had a lady say that African American women don't belong. African American men on the late don't belong to African American men. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't see that, but thank you for the contribution. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Do me a huge favor and go to, since we're talking about solutions and things of that nature, go to crimsoncure.com and get your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. Go to crimsoncure.com to get your copy. The links are in the description box to Amazon and to crimsoncure.com. Let's see, did we get any cash apps? Let me see. Sometimes I don't like to forget. Thank you, Love C and Deshaun, for the cash apps. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone and their contributions. Thank you so very much. So jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.